Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and today I'm going to be teaching you 3 different ways of how to tie a tie. I actually had to learn how to tie a tie for this video. I didn't know how to tie a tie before. This is going to be called a full Windsor. This will be your traditional, what anybody would teach you if you just ask somebody how to tie a tie. We'll get a little bit more complex once we move on to other knots, but this will be your more traditional knot. So you'll take the fat part of the tie and you'll go over the skinny part. Once you do that, you'll come around the back with this part, and then from there you'll go over the front again. Make sure you're keeping your knot very tight when you're wrapping. And you'll come over the top here, or come through the back, come through the back, and you want to bring it through. When you get through, you want to take this part right here and you'll stick it through the loop right in the middle. Once you stick it, if I can get it through, once you stick it through, you'll pull it through all the way. Make sure it's all even, and you'll take this back piece, take the front, and you'll pull it till it gets tight around your neck. If I could and it's obviously not perfect because you'll have a button up on with a collar, but that is the full Windsor. That's how to tie that knot. I'm now going to show you how to tie what is called a Pratt knot. Just like the first one, this is also a very simple tie, a little bit more complex. So to start out, when you put the tie around your neck, you want to have it flipped over like it will be inside out, compared to the last one where we had it right side. So we'll flip it inside out, and then we'll put the skinny side over the front. You'll bring the fat side over the top, through the middle, to where it's hanging down like this, still the inside facing outward. So you'll take that part, you'll loop it around this front, and just like the last one, you're keeping it very tight as you're doing it, so that you don't have a loose tie. So you're coming across the front, and then you're coming up behind the back. Once you have it right here, it should look like that. And then when you take it here to create your knot, your final part of the knot, you'll take it through the middle. You're bringing it all the way through. Try to keep it as tight as possible. Make sure everything's adjusted correctly. And then when you want to pull it tight, you'll grab the back, put your fingers on the front, pull the skinny part down, and push the big part up. This will be a wider knot than the full Windsor. This is a more traditional knot, and that is a Pratt knot. Obviously, the same as the first one, it's not going to be quite as accurate because I don't have a collared shirt on, but that is a Pratt knot. A few things to remember when you're tying a tie is the length that you want to keep on each side to start with. A good reference point to have with your short end, which is the end that will end up being in the back, a good reference point to have is right around below the chest area. No, any lower than that, your tie will end up being too short. Anywhere above your belt line is not where you want your tie to be. When your tie is finished, you want it to be touching your belt line or lower. That's just a couple things to note when you're tying your tie. That'll be the end of my presentation, and I really appreciate you taking your time to listen. And here's my audience.